Hello. Hello, everybody. I'm Genea Barnes, and I'm an unconscious mind expert. What does that mean? What's an unconscious mind expert? I work with people who are determined to become their best selves and break through and permanently rewire the unconscious programming that's been holding them back. Today, I'm here to talk to you about the metaverse and wellness. Now, a part of me wants to say, I don't know anything about the metaverse. It's this expansive thing, virtual reality, all of these things that I know nothing about. But the reality is that's not true. I operate in the metaverse every day, and likely so do you. Christopher Lafayette, the host of this event, he said to me that the metaverse is a virtual ecosystem of communication and interaction. Let me say that again. The metaverse is a virtual ecosystem of communication and interaction. My favorite part of the last couple of crazy years has been that we have collectively stepped deeper into the possibility of what virtual connection can provide for us. And this opens up endless resources in the world of wellness, endless resources for you, for me, and everybody else. Well, on the other hand, it also feels a bit like we were dropped into a blender and then poured back into some mold of normal with the expectation that it would fit the same. But it doesn't fit the same, does it? All of the coping mechanisms and strategies that helped you manage your stress, your depression, your past, and even cover up the fact that maybe you gave up on your dreams. All of those coping mechanisms, they were taken away when lockdown happened. Stay home, they told us. Don't connect. No gym, no socializing, no bars, no restaurants, no clubs, no music. Step way out of your comfort zone in the areas of finance and technology. Miss your friends and family. Be forced to think outside the box. Activate every trigger point, every button, and realize, after all, it really wasn't the lack of time that kept you from following your dreams. And just when you thought life was returning to normal, it gets shaken up again. Go back inside. At some point, though, this will all be behind us, but you cannot unknow what you know now. Let me say that again. You cannot unknow what you know now. The last couple of years have uncovered a lot of things. You cannot unknow that your job was not the right fit after all. You cannot unknow the unresolved issues from your past that bubbled to the surface. They're there. You cannot unknow that your old way of life was depleting your health. So what really caused all of this to be so uncomfortable for so many people? Well, the answers lie in your unconscious mind. According to neurobiologists, your unconscious mind accounts for 95% of your brain activity. 95%. Imagine that your mind is an island, the island of Hawaii. Let's pick someplace beautiful, lush and green, and well, there's some lava rocks, so little parts of it might be a little jagged. But this island is your conscious mind. It's everything that you're aware of, everything that you can see. But deep underneath the sea is your unconscious mind. It's a mountain that goes all the way down to the bottom of the ocean. And this unconscious mind, this mountain beneath the sea, it remembers everything that you've ever been through. Every single little tiny thing. Now, you may or may not be consciously aware of some of those things, but that doesn't matter. Your unconscious mind has it all. And your unconscious mind communicates with you through your emotions. Now, I know that everybody has had a smell or a song transport you back in time? For me, it's the smell of butterscotch. When I smell butterscotch, I am instantly brought right back to the moment of being at the ice cream sundae bar at the all-you-can-eat buffet with my stepdad. There, pouring the hot butterscotch all over my sundae. These feelings of joy, sugar, I was never usually allowed to have sugar, and love would flood up and overwhelm me every time I smell the smell of butterscotch. And perhaps with a song, maybe you have a wedding song, and all of a sudden, for just a moment, you're right back there in that moment, feeling the love and all of the good feelings that come with that. Now, this happens in an instant. It happens so fast that you're not even consciously aware of it. I could be walking through the mall or somewhere and smell that butterscotch, and instantly, before I could even consciously try to redirect any of my emotions, I would be right back there. What this is called an anchor. And an anchor happens through repetition or intense emotions. Think of the peace sign symbol, right? You see it, you automatically know that it means peace. It happens so fast and so quick, you have no conscious control over it. This is how fast your unconscious mind works. And when something is anchored into your neurology, like butterscotch is for me, it happens so fast and so quick, there's no control over it. I can't stop the feelings before they come up because it happens so quickly. Your unconscious mind is quick, like lightning, even quicker. So think of again of that peace sign. You see that symbol somewhere, you know exactly what it is. You cannot unknow what it means because it's there. Now, let me show you how easy it is to create an anchor in your neurology. We're going to pick a good emotion, though. A good emotion. I want you to think of a time when you felt ultimately resourceful, powerful, like you could do anything. You were so confident and empowered. I want you to think of that time now. Think of that time where you felt so powerful and step right into the memory of being you, as if you're looking through your own eyes, feeling the feelings of being right there, and allow the emotions to rise up into your body. And as they rise up into your body, those emotions of empowerment, take two fingers of one hand and press them on the inside of the wrist of the other hand. Press down as those emotions flood your body. Close your eyes, it's even more effective. And as those emotions flood your body, and as they start to dissipate, release your fingers. And now think of your telephone number backwards. Good, good. Shook you out of that. Now I want you to do that again. Think of that time when you felt ultimately powerful, ultimately empowered, like you could do anything, and step right into it. Feel the feelings of being right there. And as those emotions rise up, I want you to take your fingers and again, press them on the inside of your wrist. As those emotions rise and as they begin to fall, release. Good. And what's pink and purple and green all mixed together? Shake it off. Shake it off. One more time. Go ahead. I want you to, again, think of that moment when you felt so empowered, so resourceful, like you could do anything and step into it. And as those emotions rise into your body, go ahead and take your fingers again and press them on the inside of your wrist and allow those emotions to continue to rise up. And as they begin to dissipate, release. And you can think about what color socks I'm wearing right now. Good, good. So now I want you to think of a moment. Think of what it feels like right when you first wake up. You're a little groggy. Okay. And now I want you to take your fingers, not doing the whole thing, but just think of a time, feel a little groggy, a little. All right. And now take your fingers and press onto that anchor again. And notice those emotions of empowerment rising back up into you. Good. So that's how easy it is to anchor something into your neurology. Now, I've talked to you about positive emotions, but what about the negative emotions? Overwhelm anchors into your neurology more effectively and stronger than almost any other emotion. Overwhelm is usually accompanied with a cocktail of negative emotions: fear, anger, stress, sadness. And when the overwhelm anchors into your neurology, it signals to your nervous system, to your unconscious mind, that you do not have the resources to process those emotions. You wouldn't be experiencing overwhelm if you could process the emotions. If you could process the emotions as they were happening, the overwhelm wouldn't happen. So anytime you are overwhelmed in the past, it anchors into your nervous system. Now, most of these anchors happen when you're very little and you have limited resources and understanding in the world. This is why your parents can push your buttons so easily, because they were the ones that were often around when these source events happened. Now, imagine you're 3 years old and you get lost in the grocery store. That is a hugely overwhelming event. And that will anchor into your nervous system, perhaps the fear, perhaps the beliefs that maybe somebody doesn't love you and they left, whatever it might be. And anytime a situation looks similar, your unconscious mind is going to try to steer you away from it. It is going to react so fast and so quick, just like that peace symbol, just like that smell, and steer you away from it, because it thinks you do not have the capabilities to deal with that situation. And because in those moments, you are brought right back to that original event when the anchor was created, like the smell, like the peace sign. You are not actually responding to the emotions of the moment. You are responding to the past. You are locked into the past. Now, when you heal and process the emotions from that source event, it will neutralize the anchor and it will set you free from the trigger. Now, to deal with emotional triggers, most people devise unconscious strategies to avoid them. Most people are unaware that they're even doing this. And when the world shut down and those coping mechanisms and strategies were taken away, it left many people swimming in a soup of past unprocessed emotions. Now, breaking free from these emotional anchors is 100% possible. Now, on the other side, during the last 2 years, other people realized that their old life was the source of their dis-ease, right? Dis-ease. And they wanted to make changes. They wanted to live a different life. Now, many people have taken those leaps, and they're now discovering, as they're trying new things, a new discomfort as they attempt to stretch into those things that they have never done. Now, remember back when I said that the unconscious mind remembers everything you've ever been through. Well, this is true, but what you have conscious access to is very limited. Your brain processes 11 million bits of information per second, but you are only consciously aware of 60 to 120 of those bits. Now, what you are consciously aware of is determined by what your unconscious mind thinks is important to you. And it uses your emotions, your sense of identity, your attitudes, your emotional anchors, beliefs, and values to filter that information. Each one of those things are filters, and most of those filters were formed before the age of 10 and based on what you had experienced up to that point. This means that most of your unconscious programming happened before you were 10. The mountain underneath the sea of the island was formed before you were 10. And lots of those learnings and beliefs and situations are not going to be the things that are going to take you to the next level. If you want to do something outside of what was modeled to you when you were young, you need to create new programming. Yes, of course. You can consciously override that programming. But when you're sick, tired, stressed, depleted, or distracted, your unconscious mind takes over. It is what drives you home when you are lost in thought. It's very powerful. Remember, 95% of your brain activity is unconscious. But when you update your unconscious programming to get in alignment with your conscious desires, anything becomes possible. There's a reason that people say change your mind, change your life. And change, real change, happens in an instant. It happens the moment your unconscious mind gets it. When you're working on an issue, you are employing your conscious mind to override your unconscious programming. And the moment your unconscious mind gets it, the issues just dissolve away. Now, most of you have had one of those aha moments. And from that moment on, whatever you learned caused you to let go of something, or something changed in your behavior, or the issue just dissolved instantly. This is why I love doing what I do so much, because together my clients and I bypass those filters and help the unconscious mind have those aha moments that create permanent change. By breaking through the limitations of the past, they are free to move forward and become everything they consciously want to be. And so, as all of this stuff has been shaken up in the last couple of years, we are so lucky. We are so lucky right now that we live in the world that we live in today. We are in the midst of a metaverse, and we are in the midst of a wellness revolution. More and more celebrities are opening up about their journeys of mental health and wellness, which is empowering people to look at their own lives and wellness in a new way. You see, therapy is not the only way. It's possible to collapse those emotional anchors in one session, to reprogram old beliefs and limitations in a very short amount of time without having to talk about it endlessly. Through the metaverse, this virtual ecosystem of communication and interaction, you have resources that you did not even know were possible right at your fingertips. Whether it's in wellness or some area of your life. I mean, in fact, you've already stepped deeper into those possibilities just by being here. People are ready to chase those lives that they want. And this means stepping outside of what they have always known and done. With the expansion of the metaverse, you have access to so many guides like myself that can break you free from the limitations programmed into your unconscious mind, that can help you heal your past issues and traumas. Guides that can help you transcend what was uncovered in the last couple of years, those things that you cannot unknow. And guides that can help you step into the fullest and truest versions of who you were born to be. We are connected today in a way that was unfathomable to generations before us. And with this, you have an opportunity to heal and transform. Today and into the future, you are no longer bound by your location, by the limitations of your mind. The people like me, and having the universe and the metaverse and all of the verses right at your fingertips, you have the possibility to find the perfect guide for what you want to create in your life, what you really want to create in your life. So I leave you with these questions. What becomes possible when you break free from the emotional anchors that have kept you looped into the past? When you change the unconscious programming that holds you back? What becomes possible when you find the perfect mentor to take you to the next level? What becomes possible when you take care of your well-being and create from that place where your dreams come from? The possibilities are endless and they are right at your fingertips. Thank you. Thank you for listening. I'm Genea Barnes, and I hope to see you in the